as a technology tool. Module 3, non-digital and digital skills and tools in delivering technology enhanced lesson. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm sorry, wait, I have to change this. Okay, I hope my screen is now visible. I'll try using a, wait for a while. Ay, wala siya. Okay, anyway. Ay, there you go. Okay. So again, this is module 4, non-digital and digital skills and tools in delivering technology enhanced lesson. We'll be discussing lesson 3, creating e-portfolio as a technology tool. Okay, for this lesson, here are the outcomes. Number 1, explore the use of a platform such as a Google site. Okay, so later on we will be exploring a little bit Google site, but not really um, um, so the technical part of Google Sites, so we'll not dig deep on it. Now let's try. We will just look at the of Google Site and some features of it. Number 2, constructed an e-portfolio to document learning. Let's try to look at if we can construct an e-portfolio. I believe that we all have problems when it comes to resources, especially most of you, if not all, ay wala talagang laptop. Okay. In the 21st century instruction, where independent learning is encouraged, the documentation of a personal learning journey is a must. Such documentation can help the teacher monitor the process and assess the product of learning. Doing this requires proper organization through a portfolio. I believe you already heard the word portfolio, no? Because I think during your elementary years and even your high school years, parang pinapagawa na kayo ni teacher nito, no? Siguro yung iba lang, hindi siguro klaro yung pagkasabi ng mga teachers, but I think ang sa pagkakaalam ko, merong time na pinapadala tayo ng teacher natin ng parang folder, somewhat like that, no? Parang envelope, okay? And then parang binibigyan tayo ng instruction ng teacher natin na lahat ng ating mga activities or mga quizzes or mga tests or exam na binabalik sa atin ay doon natin daw ilalagay, no? Okay. So I think that is now our concept of portfolio. Okay. Okay, so here is now our portfolio, no? Sonia's first grade portfolio, okay, and the other one, okay? Yung iba talaga nakalagay talaga sa classroom, no? Meron talaga yung kahon, meron talaga yung isang cabinet na kung saan ay doon nilalagay yung mga portfolio natin. Okay. What's in my backpack? Okay, so open your bag. If you have your bag now, and then siguro kukuha kayo, no? By the time you are watching this video, kindly try to look at your bag or kindly try to open your bag. Then how organized is it? No, right after opening it, hindi ba kayo na-shock na ang dami palang ang kalat sa loob ng bag ninyo? So how organized is it? Is everything kept in the right location? Yung mga ballpen ba natin, yung ballpens ba natin, nakalagay ba sa dapat niyang paglagyan? Yung mga notebooks ba natin, nalagay ba sa specific part ng ating bag? No? Can easily locate what you are looking for. Pag naghahanap na tayo ng pencil, agad-agad nakikita natin. No? Does it have pockets to keep your things? A cluttered bag reflects a disorganized owner. That is according to them, no? Actually, sa lahat ng bagay, kung meron kang gagawin, although hindi naman lahat, but for that particular no na example sa backpack, somewhat that is true that a cluttered bag is a reflection to yourself, meaning to say you are a disorganized person. No judgment, no. But anyway, that is it. So learning is likened to it, no. If ideas are organized in a good location, learning is surely easier and meaningful, no? So parang ganyan nakalagay talaga sa part sa tamang lalagyan. Okay. So meaning, no, we'll quote that line, if ideas are organized in a good location, learning is surely easier and meaningful. Let's try to look at this lesson, and we will try to go back to that saying, no, to that quotation. Portfolios are one good means of keeping things in order. Okay. A learning portfolio, no, in a semester work, a learning portfolio is a collection of student work that exhibits students' effort, progress, achievements, and competencies gained during the course. Kaya nga, tinitingnan talaga yung ibig sabihin ng meaningful. Magiging meaningful pa because at some point if you're going to look at your because that is an exhibit of your effort, correct? That is an exhibit of your progress. That is an exhibit of your achievement. That is an exhibit of your competencies gained during the course. So that's the time that if you're gonna look at it, no, if you're gonna look at back, you would see that okay, ang ganda talaga ng performance ko. Okay, ang performance ko pala hindi pala maganda sa simula, pero nung nag-end ng yung semester, ang ganda pala. That's the time that the learning is meaningful. Okay? Portfolios may come in many forms: album, a scrapbook, or even a filer. However, nowadays, it is possible to have online portfolios by creating sites, no? Because we're in the era of technology. And this is also called the e-portfolio or digital portfolio. This can be used as a digital archive that can contain the same materials as a physical portfolio, but can have more, such as multimedia productions, relevant online links or references, digital stories or video blogs, PowerPoint presentations, photographs, and other ICT materials. Kasi nga, the same pa rin naman yung e-portfolio natin and the physical portfolio, the same lang naman yung kung ano yung dapat natin ilagay, but the e-portfolio has its extension kasi nga naka-soft copy at some point no kung gagamitin natin ng layman's term yan. So marami tayong pwedeng paglagyan, no, yung mga multimedia productions na ginawa ninyo, yung PowerPoint presentations na ginawa ninyo and so on. Okay. The e-portfolio can be private or can be published and shared publicly to stakeholders like parents and friends. So you can, that's the nice thing also, no, because you can easily share it privately or publicly. Okay. So here are the features of that one. No, this can be used as a digital and archives. This can be published through published to share public. This can be published to share publicly or as a private digital materials. Okay, so let's try to look at the features of your portfolio. First one, student e-portfolio can evaluate students' academic progress. They can inform the teacher to adapt and use instructional strategies when pieces of evidence indicate that they're either learning or not. Kasi nga nakikita natin doon. Nung sa first quiz, siguro yung nakuha nating quiz, 1/10. Yung second quiz na naman, 2/10, for example. The third quiz, 3/10, no, ang baba. So you can actually look at it, and then of course teachers can adjust, no, because kasi nga ebidensya yan na yung mga estudyante talaga natin ay parang medyo may kulang kasi may hindi sila na-learn, no. Imagine the score is very dragging, hindi talaga nakapasa. Okay. In other words, the construction of the e-portfolios should start from the beginning and should not be an ongoing process. Yes, that is correct. No, it should start pa lang by the time the teacher has done something. No, and they should not be reviewed only at the end of the term, but navigated around and provided feedback to let the students know how they are doing. So yung mga ginawa pala natin, no, supposedly since na siguro pag simula pa lang ng grade 1 ng estudyante, dapat nakakolekta na tayo ng tinatawag nating portfolio. And then, hindi lang dapat na nag-end ito sa isang termino. Siguro, pwede natin itong pagbasihan or gawing basis for to look for the performance of the students as that particular student goes up no to a higher level. Okay. They should not be reviewed no again only at the end of the term. Okay. Another thing we have is monitoring students' progress can be highlighted in a portfolio. That is correct. I think this is very understandable. It may not only contain finished products, but also several versions on how the students improved their work based on the feedback provided by the mentors or by the teachers. Like for example, nagpagawa kayo ng project or project plan, yung mga edited doon ay pwedeng ilagay. And then of course, pwede siyang magawa ng mga ma-monitor yung progress ng estudyante, no? Kung galing sa ganitong pagsusulat, for example, nakita natin na meron palang improvement based on the given feedback coming from the mentors or the teacher. Moreover, children, portfolios can actually determine whether the students have transferred what they have learned in new projects or other domains. And the last feature, portfolios document students' learning growth. No? They actually encourage the students' sense of accountability for their own learning process. Why? It is because nakikita kasi ng mga estudyante yung ebidensya. No? And this is now the battle between telling us kung yung teacher ba talaga yung may mali at some point. I am telling in this particular level, yung teacher ba talaga ang may kakulangan or yung estudyante. So when it comes to learning, we could, because of this e-portfolio or digital portfolio, even the physical portfolio, we can give the students a sense of accountability for their own learning also. Okay, this may lead them to see that the learning process is theirs and not anybody else. No, so this can make learners reflect from where they have begun to how far they have developed. When they make decisions on what or what not to include, they get engaged in the process of creating their own voice in their portfolio. Kasi nga, a part of which perhaps is at some point we are to look at the reflections of the students based on the performance, no? Based on their performance, based on the evidences na nakita natin sa portfolio. Okay, this is, I think, the nice thing of creating a portfolio for them to have their portfolio, because makikita talaga yung ebidensya, no? And then at some point again, the sense of accountability is very nice for them to feel, no? Okay. Anyway, next part of which is how to create your online portfolio using a site. There are many sites that can be used in creating an e-portfolio. One of which is the Google site. So ito yung pinakita ko example. So this is the domain of your Google site. Okay. If you have a Google account, you can start using the available applications. So sa inyong Google sites later on, you just have to use your MSU main account. No? So you can also try Weebly or Wix, among others. Okay. So here are some examples of online portfolio. This one, most of them are using Wix, no? Okay. Okay. So let's try to look at now the parts of an e-portfolio. I will be, okay, but before that, I will be showing you the steps in constructing an e-portfolio. Okay. So let's try to, before we will proceed to the parts of an e-portfolio. So let's try to, okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So you have your option, no, of doing it. So you can actually search Google site. Pwede. Okay. We will, by the way, for this particular lesson, I will be using Google site. No? So all you have to do is to search Google site sa Google. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Google site or Google Sites. Okay. And then all you have to do is click this one, no, the sites google.com. Sites.google.com. So click mo lang yan. And perhaps sa mga wala ka, kasi ako naka-embed na kasi yung account ko dito sa Google Chrome ko. So automatically mag-open siya. Pero some of which you'll be prompted to log in your account. So you just have to use your MSU main account for easy purpose, no? For easy use. Another step you have is pwede namang, sorry, parang naghang siya. Okay. Pwede na namang search ka ng Google. Okay. Di ba, pag open mo, pag next tab mo, kasi ako nakaset itong, depende sa settings, no? But okay, ayan. I'm so sorry. My microphone is really, anyway. Sige. I-check my, okay, here you go. Oh. Okay. For a while, I'll be checking my mic. Okay. Okay. Sige, that's it, no? We'll just wait na matanggal yung nasa screen na naka-gray. Let's change to speakers. Your default was changed. Bakit hindi siya natatanggal? Okay. Sige yan. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Okay. So we have here nakaset ito sa akin nakaset kasi ito. So by the time na mag-new tab ako, ito yung lalabas, no? Okay. So kung ito yung nakaset sa inyo, kung titingnan niyo dito sa bandang ito, meron kayong tinatawag na the Google Apps, no, kung meron diyan. Yung iba tinatawag itong chocolate bars, yung iba tinatawag itong waffle, okay? Or is it waffle? Yeah, okay. So yan, no? So nandiyan lahat, if you're gonna click it, okay, meron tayong makikitang sites dito. Hanapin natin yung sites. Google Sites. Sorry, ito pala. Okay, so you just have to click it. And then some of you siguro will be prompted to sign in or to log in your account. Okay. Or the other method for you to do it is you just have to type sites.google.com. Okay. Actually, sa lahat ng mga products, no, most of the products, no, if I'm not mistaken, most of the products of Google, all you have to do is to write the name of the product and then google.com. Like for example, sheets, no? Dapat naka-plural lang siya, hindi pwedeng sheet. So you have sheets here, sheets.google.com. Okay. And then you will be prompted to their Google Sheets automatically, no? Without doing anything. No, sorry. Without going to the products and so on. Okay. Okay. So let's try to look at. So according to here, we have to enter down your email Gmail account and look for sites. But anyway, ito yung mga proseso kung paano natin mahanap yung sites. No? If it is the first time that you have done this, you need to read the directions. So you have to scroll down when you click. When you click it, it will lead you to another section. This will let you create a site that you can use as an e-portfolio. So ito yan. Okay. Okay. And then, tingnan natin, we will click this one, sample this one, no? This is actually a template ng student portfolio. So, click natin yan. But you can, of course, use the blank one, no? Kung kayo na yung gustong mag-arrange. Okay? So, most likely, ito yung interface ng ating um, Google site. So, pwede natin yung pagandahin. So, let's try to look at some of the parts, no? So, nandito yung mga pwede nating gamitin. We have the insert. So, you can insert actually text box, images. You can embed link, of course, materials from your Google Drive. And then you can change the layouts, no? Kung ano yung gusto ninyo. We also have here the collapsible tab, table of contents, and so on. So you can just look at it, no? And then right after that, the other one would be pages. So nandito, meron tayong home button. We also have classes, kung maraming classes yan. And then the activities, you can actually add up on it. And then of course, you can add a page here, and of course, a link also with your pages. And then for the themes, you can choose among which, kung ano yung gusto ninyong themes sa inyong, what you call this, portfolio. And then of course, you can change the background and even the font style, no? You can change that. Okay. So that is for the Google site. Okay. So let's go back and let's try to look at the parts of an e-portfolio. So just like a book, the e-portfolio has pages or sections. Kung titingnan ninyo kanina, so pwede nating malagyan ng different pages if you have different classes. And then of course, we have to separate your activities naman. So that is why we have to create pages. The organization can follow a chronological order based on the activities that you go through, or you can have a thematic arrangement na nakadepende yan. So whatever you choose, it will be a display of your organizational skills. So the first part of your e-portfolio, I think we only have a little parts, no, sa portfolio made. The first one, of course, is your homepage. So homepage or the cover page. Yung kanina na nakita natin, that is actually your homepage. The first section is the home or your cover page. This is the first thing that your readers will see. So you need to introduce yourself and the objectives of your e-portfolio. Usually, there are templates available and can each provides sections. Okay, you can add personal touches such as images or a change of color themes. So yun yan. Okay. Next, the other one, okay, that is the homepage. Kung titingnan na ninyo, meron siyang picture and then data about him or information about the person. So may pa-about me siya dito. Okay. Next, pages. Okay. So the pages that you can add depend on how you would like to organize your e-portfolios. Yan. Next would be your reflection. So a major element in a portfolio is the writing of the reflection. I think that's the one thing, or that's one thing na importante sa e-portfolio, no? Because teachers will let you write your reflection. No? It is thinking aloud, a way of documenting what they are thinking, how students are processing the input, and the application of what they have learned into an activity or a project needs to be captured. With the pencil and paper test, the chance to get a piece of their insights or realizations may be little unless the teacher requires them to do so. However, with a portfolio, they can show the process of their work. And of course, this can be easily monitored. Sa paper pencil test kasi, no, ang ati lang na test most likely would be the knowledge. Nakadepende kung paano natin ito ginawa, but most likely, the reflection or the idea or the thinking part of the students cannot be seen there, no, sa tinatawag nating pencil and paper test. So sometimes it is difficult to write a reflection, and a structure can be helpful. There are many models that can be used as a guide in writing reflections. And one is the Gibbs reflective cycle model 1988. Okay, so this is The reflective cycle, learn from your experience. So let's try to look at the different phases of this reflective cycle. We have description, feelings, evaluation, analysis, conclusion, and the last one would be the action plan. Okay. So meron tayong question for each. So description, what happened? This initial phase in writing a reflection is very simple since you just need to describe the activity or the experience to the reader. You can write a little about the background on what you're reflecting about by including relevant and to the point details. So, what happened? Description. Next, feelings. What were you thinking and feeling? Learners are involved in learning, and an activity or perhaps a lesson can trigger certain feelings, and that is true, no? So at this point, you can consider and think about how you feel at the time when you were doing the activity or having the experience. You need to discuss your emotions honestly about the experience, but not to forget that this is part of an academic discourse, no? Baka kasi mag-rant kayo, no? The the activity was very difficult, blah blah blah. The teacher was very sensitive and somewhat insensitive. Sorry, was very insensitive. No, the teacher cannot feel what somewhat like that. No, so please take note that this is an academic discourse. Next is evaluation with a question, what was good and bad about the experience? When evaluating, discuss how well you think the activity went. No? Kasi nga, you express your feeling and then right after that, you evaluate no, if that experience is good or bad. Recall how you reacted to the task or situation and how others reacted. Was the experience a pleasant one or otherwise? This is also a possible part where you can perhaps incorporate related readings of other authors, principles, or theories. Like for example, when you are working with others and then you feel good about it because you learn something from them, you can include some related readings. Like for example, for social cognitive, for example, no kana silang may idea that according to that particular theory, that you can learn best when you are in interaction with others. Okay, somewhat like right after evaluation is analysis with a question, what sense can you make of the situation? This part of the write-up includes your analysis of what worked well and what have you facilitated. What have facilitated it or what may have hindered it. No? So you can also discuss related literature that may have brought about your experience. Your evaluation analysis, you have to work on it because at some point if you're going to write it, merong chance na mag-overlap ning duha, no? Kining evaluation or analysis. But anyway, when you are doing your evaluation, at the same time, you are at some point doing your analysis man. Second to the last part of this reflective cycle model is the conclusion with a question, what else could you have done? Now you can write what you have learned from the experience or what you could have done. If your experience is a good one, you can probably discuss how it can be ensured or how you will further enhance a positive outcome. On the other hand, if the experience is frustrating, eliciting other negative feelings, perhaps you can discuss how those can be avoided in happening, as this leads to the next step, which is your action plan. Okay, because the next step and the last step would be action plan. No? If it arose again, what would you do? No? If the negative, if that particular experience is frustrating, that possibly eliciting or giving you negative feelings, no, what would you do? No, that is now the role of the last part, which is the action plan. At the end of your reflection, probably this is the last paragraph, kumbaga. At the end of your reflection, you write what action you need to take so that you will improve the next time, such as consult an expert for some advice or read a book that will provide answers to your queries. You make plans on how you can address what went wrong so that you can take the right step to succeed in achieving the task. If you did well and feel good about it, then you can plan out how you can further enhance a good work. So the action plan is not actually concentrating on ano siya, the negative one, no? The bad experience, but also to the good experience also. For the good experience, kung anong if that would arose again, what would you do to make it more uh, better, somewhat like that. No, if the experience is bad, how can you avoid it? No, like for example, you did not discuss well the activity because siguro wala ka gaanong nalaman of that particular activity, no? Wala ka ganong idea. So to avoid that for your action plan, siguro your action plan would be you have to read more or ask an expert. Okay. A brief description has to be written explaining the materials by the time you will be sharing a material. No? That is really good. Like for example, if you will be sharing a handout, you have to write a brief description explaining the purpose of that material. This will guide the readers as you also reflect on how relevant or significant the material is to you. What is great about writing a reflection is it allows you to embrace your own learning and start taking accountability of it. Remember that one of the features of your of doing portfolio is the student can take accountability of his or her learning. Okay. After all, you owe it to yourself, and no matter what the teacher does inside the classroom, as a learner, you can make the decision whether you want to learn or not. With an e-portfolio, you try to capture your personal journey of learning. So this is according to Gibbs or Gibbs G 1988, Learning by Doing, a guide of teaching and learning methods, Oxford Further Education Unit. Next we have is the administrating the e-portfolio. So before you have to publish your e-portfolio for the world to see your work, you can control who can see your work. So let's try to let's go back to our Google site. Right after making your Google site, you have to click publish. Okay. In here, you have options here. Now you can name your published site CPE 107. Sorry. CPE 107. This is the web address, no? CPE 107 e-portfolio. Okay. So your web address now would be https, no, yan, sites.google.com/msumain.edu.ph/cpe107 ePortfolio. And then you can click manage, no? Who can view my site? So pwede siguro anyone at Mindanao State University main campus. So meaning, lahat ng gumagamit ng domain ng MSU main can view your site. No? Pag wala naman outside, meaning they cannot open it. And then you can click publish. Okay. Siguro other one, you have other settings. No, you just have to click the gear icon and then other settings pa. Okay. So that is for administrating the e-portfolio. Next part of the lesson is assessing an e-portfolio using a rubric. Okay. Of course, this is now the role of the teacher in assessing your e-portfolio. Evaluating an e-portfolio using a rubric is a consistent application of learning expectations, then learning outcomes or standards. Anyway, I have here sample e-portfolio or digital portfolio rubric. Okay, so if you will be creating your e-portfolio, this will be your I will be using this rubric. Okay, I think that's the end of lesson 3. If you have questions, please raise that sa GC. And of course, you will be doing different tasks related to lesson 3, and that will be posted sa Google Classroom. Thank you so much for listening.